Hello everyone, happy Sunday. Thank you for joining me yet again for another scrap use tutorial. So today I'm going to share something with you very quickly, and I will move on to showing you another similar idea but just a little different. So I was trying to utilize, like I was making some cards and I have some, paper that, I didn't want, I had to get rid of, so instead of throwing them out, I am reviving them into different things. One of the things I experimented with here is, again, this is just, paper gone bad. And this is supposed to be a matted piece for a 5.5 by 4.25 card, standard size. So what I technically did was I had some tissue paper or just regular paper towel that I did have. And as you notice, the paper usually have texture on it. I separated the pieces, so I pulled it apart, and the part with the pattern or the better design, I used glue and just made like a watery glue substance, and then I pasted it on the back of the paper, and then I placed the paper towel on top of it so that it can have some kind of a texture. I don't know if you can see the textured pieces, like pattern there. So once it was stuck, then I used my brayer and my Ranger archival ink, and I just went over it just to give it some kind of a, old, outdated kind of look, like something your grandmother must have forgotten somewhere under a bed or a pillow or in a stack of stuff. And then I used a map. Um, this was a map. In fact, not was. It is a map piece that I purchased from Hobby Lobby, and it's just a world map piece, which I used to kind of give some kind of impression on here. Now the impression didn't take fully, but then if you look closely, you can see the end here. It shows like there is like a map sort of piece here, and like it looks like it got faded over time. Then when I was done, I used my distress ink, sorry, and I did the edges. you know um this one is vintage photo. I use this and I kind of just like flip the edges with my blending tool. So this was the outcome. So this is an option you can use if you want to just have a matted piece, and then on top of that piece, feel free to do whatever you want. I have a couple of a map vintage piece. You could just add it on, add your sentiments, fix it up nicely. Or if you have any die cuts or anything, you could cut out shapes or pieces that will represent what you need for your card. It's just up to you. It's your imagination. So I'm going to set this aside. This is just an example of using tissue paper to also use if you're scrap to make a creative piece. So that's something you can experiment with, and if you would like to share with us what you came up with. Okay, so I have a few more pieces. This was typed printed on the back, so I'm going to go ahead and do a similar option but without the tissue paper. Let's see if it comes out differently. So again, I'm using a sponge brayer. I'm just going to roll it, and then when using the brayer, start off the paper and just go up. So this is a sponge. This is the first time I'm using the sponge brayer, to be honest. I have another solid one there, but I just decided to experiment with this one today. And you apply depending on how much you need. So I want this to be a little darker. Hopefully I can get it darker. I'm not sure if I could, but I'm going to try, because again, I have not used this sponge brayer before. So I'm just trying to see if I can work it the best I can. I trust that everyone had a pleasant week And hopefully slowly but surely we are returning to normal. I just continue to wish everyone safety and to be very cautious and just, take it easy pretty much. Enjoy your families. Those of you who are blessed like myself to not have lost a family member, and to those of you who may have during this terrible time, my heartfelt condolences to you and your family. I know nothing can be said to ever replace them, but just know that, I have been praying as a Christian. I've been praying for everyone, during this difficult time. So just bear that in mind. Okay. So I'm going to leave this as it is. So far I'm beginning to have what I'm looking for. Now it looks lighter in the on the webcam, but it's darker in front of me. Now what I'm going to do now, set this aside. I'm going to use my blending tool so that I can get the edges. I'm going to make the edges a little darker. So I'm getting those edges in here. Looking pretty nice. Again, if for any reason you have, pieces of like cardstock, this one is, I think, 65-pound cardstock. Maybe that is not your typical matting material. At least I don't use so heavy, but you can still utilize it, whether you cut it down or you make a pattern out of it, whatever you want to do, that's fine. Okay, so I have this done. Just gonna get this in here. I have given it if you can see now, I have the edges, just a little darker than the the lighter brown itself. I usually have a baby wipe to do this, but I'm going to just pass on that for now. Then I'm going to go ahead and get that map placed on there. So I will just go ahead and get this turned around. I'm just trying to barely get the edges because I want the map to be able to get there. So if I can see how this map is, it would definitely help. I think it's this way. So I'm going to go ahead and place the map on here. This is my We Are Memory Keepers Precision Press Advanced Stamping Tool. It's like the Mitzi tool, just a different type, format. So I'm going to use my black VersaFine ink. It's a permanent ink I'm going to use. I'm just going to dab some of this on here. Now that that's done, let me go ahead and get it onto the paper. What I like about this tool here, just like the Misty tool and any other tool of similar, ability, if you need more inking done, then you don't have to worry about, hey, I didn't get enough ink, should I go ahead and try to see if I can press it back on to make sure. Now, I don't know why this centerpiece is not, and I'm going to show you. It has the edges, but it doesn't have the centerpiece. Now, that's what I like about utilizing these tools, because now I'm going to go back in and I am going to stamp a little more in the middle so I can get that middle part. and I am not sure why it didn't or did not, you know, get the ink properly. But I hope there's not an issue with the actual stamp itself, because this is a new stamp I purchased from Hobby Lobby yesterday. They were having 40% off on all stamps. And of course, you don't let a crafter go out of your sight when there is a sale, especially because we are going to leave that store with a way lot more stuff than we should leave with. So I'm just saying, just if you have a crafter or you are a crafter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so for some reason, this map is not working the way I would like it to be. But say again, every accident or every mistake is always a fashion. So let's pretend that this is just an outdated piece of map or something that was um, maybe we found on, you know, from grandma stuff from way back when, and basically it's faded. So we could use this to our advantage and use it as it is for a matted piece, or we can choose to, like this here, since this did not go in, I can maybe stick something else in the space to, you know, to add that vintage look. Here's another, you know, that can be added maybe with a sentiment, you know, just something that you can use. Or you could cut it down. I don't know how you want to cut it down, but you can use circles, I don't know, hearts, any kind of shape you may have as a die cut, or you can create your own sort of shape if you want to, that you can use on the top of your cards. So it did come out looking the vintage way that I wanted it to look. However, again, the stamp, I'm not sure what's wrong with the stamp, but I may have to work on that a little bit. So if anyone knows how to work on stamps that are doing this, feel free to post so that I can try it on mine, so and get it working. So for now, this is what I would like to share, just reviving pieces that you have already worked on and using it as a matted piece, or for preparation for shapes or anything that you need to add to your on the top of your cards. So these are the two options. Either you use it with paper towel, see the back here, paper towel, do the same principle. You could use your, I guess you can just use this and just kind of glide it over, it's up to you. But these are two options to have vintage looking paper for your card making. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Be blessed. Have a wonderful and safe week. Bye-bye.